Opioids are a class of drugs that include the illegal drug heroin. Synthetic opioids such as fentanyl and pain relievers available legally by prescription, such as Oxycontin, Vicodin, codeine, morphine, and many others. Based on data collected through the Intertribal Council of Michigan's Opioid Treatment and Recovery Initiative, Native people with an opioid use diagnosis are more likely to be women and tend to be between the ages of 18 and 34. People using opioids are doing so in the context of their family. 74% have children. 17% have children in a court-ordered out-of-home placement. Historical trauma is reflected in the high rates of opioid use. 73% report experiencing trauma. 55% have experienced serious depression in the past 30 days. 73% have experienced serious anxiety in the past 30 days. 70% of people with an opioid diagnosis are unemployed. The following story portrays one avenue of opioid abuse that can occur in our tribal nations. It highlights a culturally integrated treatment approach that utilizes our traditional ceremonies and the 7 grandfather teachings, which are foundations for attaining and maintaining a balanced and healthy drug-free lifestyle.
I was young when my parents moved to Grand Rapids. It was not their first choice. Cities make it hard to move and breathe. Everything is closed in and noisy. Sometimes there's bigotry and hate. Mom and Dad always wanted to be back home, near the water, in a house tucked back into the woods. I wish life would have given me better choices too.
So what would you have chosen?
I wish my parents wouldn't have died so suddenly.
So when was it that they walked on?
In 1992, when I was 8 years old. I had no place else to go, so my aunt took me in.
So that must have been a big change. How was that for you?
Well, it was difficult at first, but then things started to fall into place. I made it to high school, started playing football, started getting good grades, but then it all fell apart.
What do you mean everything fell apart?
It was my senior year. We were up by 2, and I had to throw a pass into the end zone. Then I got hit. I didn't wake up until I was in the hospital.
So what happened?
My right tibia snapped in half. It took months to heal. Fortunately, I got addicted to pain pills, and I was out of control. That was the first time.
What were the other times?
Well, there's too many to count. One time I was working construction, and I fell off a ladder, and I was given pain pills for that too. Eventually, my prescription ran out. Then I started going to others to see if they had extra. At first, it was only pills. Then I tried a little heroin, but that was really bad. That was scary. I didn't like the way it made me feel. So I went back to the pills, but then I hit a wall, literally.
Literally, you hit a wall? Really?
Yep, I was coming home late from work one night, and that's when it happened.
Did you get in trouble? Were there any consequences at all?
This is the time and place for a plea and sentencing hearing. Present in the court, we have the defendant. Brad, we're going to start out by talking about what it is that you'll be pleading to today. The complaint alleges that in count 1, that you were driving while under the influence of liquor or drugs. It alleges that you did operate a vehicle within the territorial jurisdiction of the Grand Traverse Band when he had opiate pain medications in his system. The maximum sentence exposes you to 365 days in jail and/or a $5,000 fine. How do you plead?
Guilty.
prior to issuance of the sentence, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Well, Your Honor, it all started with the doctors prescribing me medication. I didn't start out in life being an addict. I'm just tired and I want help.
Well, I thank you for your openness and your candor with the court in acknowledging that there's an issue and/or a history of substance abuse. I'm not a fan of punitive sanctions with regard to matters involving substance abuse. We'll give you credit for whatever time you've served. I want to see what we can do to get you some services. We're going to issue you a $2,000 fine. You're going to be on probation for a full 365 days, effective from today's date, in terms of specific terms and conditions. One, we're going to ask you to complete community service by the end of your probation. You're going to be required to meet with Behavioral Health Department and follow all of their recommendations in terms of aftercare as detailed in the substance abuse assessment. We're also going to require you to take and pass random drug screens, and I want you to work with a traditional healer. The traditional healer can help you out with getting your mind in the right mindset so you can proceed in a healthy, constructive way, or even some of the services offered at the Medicine Lodge, they can also help you out with alternatives for your pain. Some of those include working with a chiropractor. There are excellent acupuncturists in the area, and yoga, and then also with the traditional healers doing sweats. You're a valued member of this community. We need you here. We are here to help you, lift you up, and embrace you, and to get you through this. One thing before we conclude today, I want to let you know that you're lucky you didn't kill yourself or somebody else.
I walked away with only cuts and bruises.
Man.
I heard there are traditional healers you can go to too.
Yeah, our behavioral health program offers individual counseling, couples counseling, family counseling, psychiatric services, and of course, the traditional healer.
I'd be interested in trying out the traditional healers.
Okay. I'll see you next week, and I can give you a call in the next couple days to get you set up with an appointment for the healer.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh, Gagetsa, hurting my back.
Wushu, let me help you with that.
Oh, miigwech.
What do you?
Wingush needs bish.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for helping me.
Are you in community service too?
Well, sort of. What is it that brings you here?
Well, I got into a little trouble with the courts.
Ah, I see. Alcohol, drugs, pills, what?
Pills.
A lot of people get stuck like that. Girls and older people too.
Yeah,
And,
that's what got me.
oh, okay. Come with me. Have you ever been to the community garden?
No, I've seen it driving by, but I haven't been here before.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd like to introduce you to some of the medicines here. Sweetgrass. In Indian, it's wingush. It's a medicine for girls and the women. It's a reminder of Mother Earth's hair. This is tobacco. It's one of our primary medicine that we use. We call it a SAMHSHA. SAMHSHA. And we use it to pray with. You know, people when they pray with the pipe, and then we offer Mother Earth. It's a men's medicine. And then come over here. This is cedar. This is a woman's medicine. You can make a tea out of it. You can bathe in it. If you have aches and pains, it'll help that way.
Like for purification?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And over here, this is sage. And this is very powerful. It cleanses us, purifies our minds, our thoughts. Those are the 4 basic medicines that we have. So
Okay.
if you could help me and just pull out some of these weeds like this, but be careful, don't pull out the sage, okay?
Okay.
All right, miigwech. While you're doing all that, I want to hear your story. I want you to tell me what happened, okay?
From the beginning?
Sure.
Okay. Well, what happened was we moved down to Grand Rapids, my parents and I, and we really didn't like it, but they needed to find work. So we were down there living, and but then there was an
Honey.
accident.
Can I help you with something?
Well, I'm just weeding the garden, helping Rachel. Weed the garden,
Rachel?
she asked me to do it.
Rachel, who's Rachel?
Oh, well, she was just right here. She was an elder. She had real pretty silver hair, kind of short, and she had a blue dress on.
Oh, I don't know any Rachel. I'm just going to the language class here.
She was right here. I was just talking to her for the last half hour.
I didn't see nobody.
She must
I get
work
messy.
around here.
How are you doing today?
Real good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. What you been up to?
Oh, I just got done with my run.
Oh, well, good for you. I know that takes a lot of determination and commitment.
Yep, it's a good stress reliever.
Well, you know, that's the kind of effort that's needed to learn our language and our ways.
Oh yeah, let me give you some more tobacco for that.
You know, we've been going over these 7 grandfather teachings with the respect, love, honesty, truth, wisdom, bravery, and humility. And we also talked about how some areas they call them the grandmother teachings, but it's still the same thing. But a lot of Anishinaabe areas, they say the 7 grandfather teachings. These are the teachings that are given to us and how we're supposed to live our lives. You know, and it kind of lays out our whole life's path, and we're going to learn all of these 7 things. And I know last week we touched on the respect, the love, you know, the honesty and the truth. You know, and I wanted to concentrate a little bit right now and talk about the bravery and humility part of that, because with what you've been through, it's just been a lot, of course. But I'm glad that you're getting better, and I'm always here to help you. Okay. You know, so that bravery is starting to shine through because you're beating your addiction, and you're also setting an example for your people, and you're setting an example for people that they can look up to know that they can also get better. You know, so within you, this kind of, this warriorness within each and every one of us as Anishinaabe have that. We just have to find a way to ignite it, you know. That bravery part is very important, just like they all are important, but it's how you need to use it. It's how you look at what bravery is, you know, as well as the humility part is, of course, we're all not perfect people. We're going to do things sometimes, I guess you would say, that we're not so proud of, you know, but we have to face them. Instead of just pushing them and saying that they were never there, sometimes it's much easier to really look at the whole situation and say, what did I really learn from that? You know, these 7 grandfather teachings, we have to walk with every day. We have to carry them within inside of us and remember what they are. Go over them, you know, think about them. Even as you come to times in your life where you're going to make some decisions, you need to look at these 7 grandfather teachings and find out how exactly you're going to do it and how you're going to apply it.
Wow, so it sounds like what I saw in this cart coming in the hall here, Minobamatsuin.
Yes, that's it. This is exactly what we're talking about. Our Minobamatsuin, this good life, is the life that the Creator has given us. And while we're here, we do our best to walk and live a good life. That's what it's all about. Some people think that it's really, really difficult, when it's not. You know, because it's all about following these 7 grandfather teachings in your life. It's all about taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, right?
Yep.
How are you going to protect them?
Yep.
How am I going to share this information with my younger relatives? to keep them from doing what I did. So the last thing I want to talk about today is wisdom. Okay?
Okay.
Wisdom is one of the teachings that as we go through life, we learn things, and even sometimes repeatedly. But that's how our traditional teachings have been done forever, is that we get these teachings over and over and over again. So as we continue to see each other, know that I'm just going to be drilling these into you, and know that it's not because I'm being mean, and it's not because I don't have anything else to talk about, but it is certainly about that I need you to understand how important they are. Why don't you give me some examples of what you've learned? How has this wisdom worked for you?
Well, with respect, I would have respected my body more and taken the pills as prescribed. With honesty, I would have not stole the pills from my aunt. With love, I would have loved myself and my family more than thinking about my next high.
Now you have some wisdom. Now you're looking back on your life, as we talked about before, and taking the good things out of the bad situations. So know that this minnow Ziwin, the good life, keep that always, and remember it. You got any questions?
Oh, there was something else I wanted to ask you. It's been bothering me for a while. Last week I was in the community garden doing my community service, and there was an Anochmus there, an older woman helping me out. And we were talking for a while, and she was showing me some medicines in the garden. One moment she was there, the next moment she was gone. Another lady walked by, and I asked her where she went, and that woman said she never saw her. So that was that seemed pretty odd. Has that ever happened to you?
It has. You know what?
Let me give
me a little bit more tobacco there. Yeah, there we go. We'll put that with the rest here. Sometimes, as we go and we start to live a better life, spirits come in all forms, whether physical, non-physical, whether we feel them, see them. It's different for each and every one of us. As Anishinaabe people, we certainly have a gift that we can feel and sense spirits. And sometimes we want to acknowledge that they're getting your tobacco offerings, they're listening to your prayers, and they're going to send that help. It might not be right away tomorrow, it might not be next week, even a month from now. But as you do your tobacco offerings, you will see that the help comes, what you're asking for. So this lady does represent that the spirits are acknowledging and they're happy that you're on the path that you're on. That's how powerful and spiritual this way of life is. So they're helping me help you. This is a really good thing, and I want you to keep thinking about it and offer your tobacco. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. You always give me good things to think about. Miigwech.
Miigwech.
Hi, Brad. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Doing good.
Yeah.
So before our appointment today, I was going through your chart, and I noticed that it's been 6 months since your first appointment.
Wow, 6 months.
It's been half a year.
Yeah.
And I know from working with you and that you've been achieving your goals. Mm-hmm. You've stayed sober. Mm-hmm. And I hope you're proud of that.
Yeah, I'm proud of it. Yep, I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling strong. Mm-hmm. Starting to run again. Feel good.
So I wanted to acknowledge that by giving you a 6-month NA token, mm-hmm. and a 6-month Red Road to Wellbriety token. Wow. To acknowledge the 6 months of sobriety.
That's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you. Thanks for all your help.
You bet. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I am. I'm proud of myself.
It's a big step. It's a big step in the right direction.
I've finally come home. Miigwech, Mom and Dad. I am living a good life now. I can breathe and move again. Miigwech, Creator, my spirit helpers, and all my counselors and relatives for keeping me on a healthy and sober journey.
The traditional healer eloquently explained how the learning and living process occurs throughout our life journey. When we walk and truly live with our 7 grandfather teachings every day, we make better decisions, which leads to a better life. Remember, respect your physical body and the usage of medications as prescribed by your doctor. Truth is understanding the correct usage of pain medication. Honesty is recognizing when oneself or a family member has an issue with the usage of their medication. Humility requires one being humble and having the strength to reach out for help, such as counseling or treatment. Bravery is being willing to take a stand and make changes in our community against addiction. Wisdom involves obtaining knowledge and education regarding opioids and pain medication. Love yourself and your family members in a healthy manner. There are many avenues for healing from this devastating opioid crisis. It will take time and the support of our families and communities to win this battle. The time is now for our tribal nations to live in Minu Bimataziwan.
Hi.